here on day 12, and once again, you guys, I know these days are off, but we're here on day 12, and we're still trying to finish up. But I wanted to make a confession because when you're cleansing or when you're purifying yourself, purging yourself, a lot of things tend to come up. So for me, I have been battling with an addiction, and my addiction was marijuana. And I wanted to be upfront and honest with my audience because a part of cleansing is being honest with yourself and releasing things that are hindering you and don't serve you anymore. So throughout this cleanse, up until yesterday, Mother's Day, which is May 13th, I was still smoking, and um, it's something that I have been doing since I was about 19 years old, and 19 or 20. I'm not really sure, but I'm just gonna say 19 because that's when I moved to Atlanta and I was living with my boyfriend who smoked and kind of, peer pressured into it, but then started to enjoy it and started to use it daily. So it just kind of has been something that I've built this bond with over the years. Like my hard times, it's been there for me. The good times, it was there for me. So it's almost like this relationship that I have with this plant. And some people may be like, "Oh, that's not a drug," and some people may feel that marijuana is not bad for you in moderation. But for me, it became a thing where I was doing it daily, and I didn't know how to monitor my consumption because it was something that I would use even if my nerves were bad because my children are just overwhelming me or the house is messed and I have to clean up. So it just became I would use this plant for to for everything, and I began to not hold myself accountable or not really use my strength and power to get over little things that I know I can handle, but I just wanted to make it easier on myself. So being real with myself and understanding that though I was able to still function and to take care of my family and cook and do all this great stuff, this was something that I knew I wanted to get rid of or get out of my life because it's it's costly and smoke doesn't belong in the body. So that was one thing that I was, starting to feel to my lungs. Like I'm like because I tend to be very aware of my body and the things that I put in my body. You become sensitive. I stopped eating meat like in around June, but since I've been out here, I've been eating fish, like I said. So I've been just, real conscious and trying to live a more holistic, healthy life every day. Like every day I strive to do better with myself and, be gentle to myself when I do fall short and learning how to not allow others around me to get me off track or to pressure me into, you know, living outside of the way that I know is best for me. So, where was I? Okay, so yeah, so my lungs, I started to notice, first of all, I believe, and I have to look up the research behind this, but a lot of people, when they smoke, their lips turn darker. So that was one thing that I don't like because I like to look very healthy and attractive and um, just having smoked lips is not attractive or not cute. So that was one thing I noticed. But I believe that that's attached to your lungs. Like, I don't know if my lungs are getting black and it's kind of a sign. I feel our body sends us signs and signals of what's going on within. So we have to pay attention and we have to not ignore these signs because you don't want to get to the point where you really are damaging yourself. So that's where I'm at, you guys. I I've been doing this for 10 years. So I'm 29 now, like I always say, and it's been 10 years. So it's just time. They say 29 is equals to the number 11, and 11 is the year or the time of self mastery. So all these things that are coming up, and I know myself, at this point. I know my triggers. I know what I do to relieve myself from these triggers. I'm very intelligent. I have a lot of information and knowledge. So it's now the time to truly apply the information and the knowledge to my life. And a lot of the time I do. I do, apply the knowledge to my life, and it shows itself to be correct, which is wisdom. When you actually apply the knowledge to your life and you see the the results of it, that is your answer if that's what you need to be doing. So right now, I am on a fast as well with the smoking, and my goal honestly is to quit completely. But I'm not going to say that I'm completely done because, I don't want to put that out there and then, something occurs and and I feel the need to, just relax. Maybe if I did it, it'd be in an edible form or maybe a tea, but I know that I no longer want to smoke the plant because even smoking the plant, I don't believe it gives you the benefits that the actual plant should give you if you are consuming it through teas or eating it. It's probably, I'm sure, like burning the plant and inhaling the fumes are not the proper way to consume the actual benefits from it. Though you still feel the high and you still feel the things that you were wanting to feel, it's just it's just not it's not healthy, and smoke shouldn't be in the body. So with that being said, you guys, I am on a fast, and right now I would like to say that I want to continue this for. I haven't put a time frame on it because it's going to be the longest time I've been on a smoke fast. I feel that I've asked my ancestors to give me the strength and the willpower to overcome smoke, and they feel just fine about it. And I'm not judging anyone that does smoke. Like I said, I've been smoking for 10 years, so I definitely understand the connection and the bond to this plant. But personally, I just feel that it's time for me to elevate naturally, holistically. I know that we are divine beings and we're spiritual beings, and I believe we can reach these highs in natural ways. And honestly, marijuana actually was starting to make me feel low, and maybe this is um, because I started to think about what I was doing to my body. I'm actually, trying to be more conscious about what I'm doing to my body. So every time I would do it, it would be cool in the moment, but afterwards I would feel, and then you'll feel what you feel in that moment, but then it's just like this low feeling like, what am I running from, or what am I, why do I continue to feel the need to use this herb when if I'm having a good time, if I'm not having a good time, like every emotion is like, okay, it's time to use it because somewhere within myself I feel like I'm not dealing with my emotions, and I want to begin to really master myself to the point where, okay, if I do use it, it's when, when I see, that I'm in control of my emotions, and it's just something that I'm like, okay, let's just do it, but not a thing where my nerves get very bad and I feel like I need to smoke, and that's what was going on. So now that I've been out here in Atlanta, I've been able to get, some vitamin C. We've been having sunlight. As y'all can see my tan. Yes, yes. So, it's just been putting me in a lot better place. I live in Chicago, so it's very gloomy, it's cloudy, and it's cold. So that just brings on like this energy. Like a lot of people get depressed in that time because it's like 6 to 9 months of just either cold, gloomy, and weather that's just doesn't really uplift your spirit. So being out here, being able to get my melanin activated and be able to just go outside for hours upon hours has really gave me um, just this new energy to do something that will get me to that next level. Because even with smoking, you make excuses for things that you could be getting done, but because you're just kind of like free spirit when you smoke, it just gives you that energy constantly to the point where I just don't feel that I know my potential, and I see myself progressing, I see myself evolving, and I give myself that credit where credit is due. However, it's a lot more that I can do to be the person that I know I should be or that I am. And me being a role model, I'm in schools, I speak to kids in juvenile centers, I speak to elementary kids. Like, I truly want to be a role model to our youth. I truly want to be an example to my children. Like, that's first. My children, I don't want them to I don't want them to be on drugs. Like, I don't want them. I mean, I know that they will try it, and I know that they will be around it at some point and be exposed to it, and they may go down that path. But if I can be someone that showed them and told them what my journey and how hard it was to stop and what it did and what it didn't do, I think, I can possibly, God willing, you know, prevent them from going down that path, and they can just fully focus on how to create the energy that they want from within. They can fully live in that. So, with that being said, you guys, let's get back to this cleanse. We made it finally to day 12. And day 12, we will be taking 6 wormwoods and now once a week. Okay, so the cloves we know we only take once a week at this point, which is, yeah, we only will take now once a week. Okay, but since you guys, I have been totally on this, not on the right track, let's just say that. I'm going to take 3 cloves like we've been doing in the prior days. So I'll take 3 cloves because I still have a few left, and I'm going to take 6 wormwoods. And then tomorrow we'll go back to our tincture. So tomorrow we'll take 2 teaspoons of the walnut tincture, and then we will do 7 wormwood capsules, and then no cloves. But like I said, I'm gonna take these cloves until I finish them because, well, let me count because on the last day, on day 18, you have to take 7 cloves. So I want to make sure on the last day I have at least 7 left, and then I can do it like that. But I know I look a little greasy, you guys, but I've been outside and it's hot, so this is a little sweaty day for me. But I love being out in this heat. Like, I'm not I'm not complaining because tomorrow I will be back in Illinois or the day after. So I'm just soaking up this little beautiful air. So we got 3 cloves, and I'm gonna take 6 wormwood. And you guys continue to comment and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Um, share if if you just needed to want someone else to hear that message about, smoking, because it honestly doesn't belong in your body. And people are like, oh, it's not a drug, and yeah, the marijuana, but smoke, and that's the thing, like with smokers, they won't tell you the stuff that they're actually experienced health wise. Like not only was I feeling my lungs like I don't even know. I feel like they're weakening. Like I'm weakening my lungs, which is how I take in the breath and breathe. Like that's such a you need your breath. Like the breath is the soul, so it's so crucial that we take care of our lungs. So not only do people are smokers not truly like honest about that part, but also I'll get headaches. Sometimes if I don't smoke, I'll get a headache. Or if I smoke and after maybe after I would get a headache, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know if it's connected to the marijuana or possibly the marijuana that we're smoking because I went to Cali and they said a lot of the weed that's in Illinois is like at best like a high mid grade weed, so we're not even really smoking the good or what they would call um, like the gas, the loud. I don't know. They have so many names. The OG Kush. We're not really smoking like these high grade strands where we're getting weed that's she was saying it's probably like a high mid grade strand. And so I would get headaches, you guys. Then we don't know who our connect is as far as like, I mean, we'll go to the same person, but we don't know who he's getting it from. So it's just all these things that I think about, but in the midst of me just wanting to smoke, in the midst of us smokers wanting to smoke, we don't care. And I care about my life. I care about myself enough to say, okay, at points we should take a break and just try to let the body recover and then try to reset on how we're consuming this marijuana. So let's get yeah. Okay. Finally, day 12. I'm not like feeling the same about um, taking these pills. I was like, you kind of get used to like, okay, I'm gonna have a handful of pills that I'm gonna have to consume. So here we go. Just do it. Okay. And another thing, you guys, is that when I smoke, I just eat. If I'm hungry and I don't have the right things around, I'll be more willing to eat the things that I'm trying to not eat. So if I'm around and I smoke and all there is chips around, I'm eating some chips. Or if all I got is some bread, some croissants, I'm eating a croissant. So it just really makes me not stick to my word, not stick to my goals, and it's not like I was talking to someone else and they were like, it's not the weed making you do that, it's you doing it. And this is true, but I know myself enough to say, okay, when I smoke the weed, I'm more, I'm more like, whatever. Like, okay, I don't have to be so strict. I give myself all these excuses to get out of what I said I'm going to do. So, um, let's get a better angle. So yeah, so that's my story, God. That's my confession, and I wanted to make this confession public because I'm after this cleanse, which we have 6 more days. So after this cleanse, I think I'm going to just, continue my YouTube videos, try to get a little bit more consistent. I know some YouTubers do like, once a week. So all this is also just for me to get into this momentum of doing, building my page, my YouTube page up. So this was my first real like consistent thing on my YouTube channel. I have other things that I've posted that have been at maybe years apart, like one video 1 year, another video another year. So me doing this and just saying, okay, let me get on YouTube, it's like putting that reminder to myself that, okay, go get on your YouTube channel, put some content up, continue to build your content. And even, even if um, it's everything is just working for itself. Everything is working together. Like I'm learning how to just relax into this life, into um, just relax into it and let it let yourself be. When you receive knowledge and information, try your best to apply it to your life, but don't be too hard on yourself. It's been times where I've done things, said I want to do things, and I didn't keep my word, and I really beat myself up, and there's no need for that because the consequence of what you do is going to happen no matter how much you beat yourself up about it. So it's like, why are you adding on to what's already coming? So everything is what it is. Everything is going to be what it's going to be. So let's learn how to relax into life. Let's continue to dream and then to have visions of what we want for ourselves, and then, allow the universe, the Most High, the Spirit to bring the to bring those things to you. Because as women, I got let me show y'all what I'm getting into now. Because I do have a women's organization, Women Let's Speak, and I really want to become way more knowledgeable about the woman. So this is what I'm reading right now, and just understanding myself and this body and this womb and the powers of being a woman, because having the womb, which is the life force of everything and all things, businesses, money, life itself, just everything creative comes from the womb. So just learning how to understand that that's what I am and who I am. So I don't have to force anything. Nothing needs to be forced. It's going to come because that's who I am. I'm a manifester. I am a creator. So it's just learning how to trust myself more, have more confidence in what I have done and what I continue to show myself, and taking care of myself, of the sacrifices and the discipline that comes with being a leader and being someone that is living their truth. Like you have to be studied, and you have to apply the knowledge, and you have to stick to your word, and these are things that you just have to do when you're, the leader that you're striving to be. So I hope this helps someone, and if you guys want more videos like this, let me know. So peace, love, and light to you all. I'm about to go outside and ground myself. So have a blessed day.